turn on your cameras and show us your Red Cross spirit today, and also, show us what you're wearing. If you're wearing a Red Cross or Red Crescent t-shirt or uniform, kindly show and be proud that you're wearing.
Hi everyone, good evening. First of all, thank
Shirley. Yep, thank you very much. And yes, kindly rename yourself as we're waiting for more people to join the call. Please rename yourself according to the convention that we are showing here, which is the state abbreviation first. If you're from Kuala Lumpur, it's KUL dash proper names. In this case, Daryl Ong, or the name that you would like to be called. Alright? So to rename, kindly select participants, search for your name. Beside your name, it depends on whether you're on your phone, tablet, or computer. It's either a more option or a 3-dot option. Click on more on the 3 dots, and then you will see the options to rename yourself. And you'll be able to rename your Zoom account according to the naming convention that we showed right now.
為什麼翻到嚟啊？
Kindly again, keep your microphone muted. And as we're waiting for our friends to join the call, we will be looking at the video shortly. Welcome to those who are joining us live from YouTube. Glad to have all of you here today with us for our 5th NYOG session, which is today from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. About mental health. It's great to have all of you here again. We're still waiting for a little while more for the room to fill up. And in the meantime, please enjoy the video message that we have for you.
What happens after people endure distress and anguish in the midst of conflict? When do they recover from the effects of violence? Is it once they've been taken to a safe zone? When they have adequate food and water? Meeting physical needs is an important aspect of recovery, but it's only one part. Without addressing mental health and psychosocial needs, recovery isn't complete. The effects of horrific events can last long after the violence ends. These events can live on in their minds and interrupt every aspect of life. They might be physically present, but often these health issues make it impossible to feel fully present in daily activities. Sleep becomes more difficult. Relationships with loved ones become strained. If mental health and psychosocial needs aren't met, people can even turn to substance abuse or self-harm as a means of coping. Treating these needs isn't a nice to have. It has the power to save lives. That's why, in addition to meeting physical needs, we at the International Committee of the Red Cross provide mental health and psychosocial support to all victims of violence, because we believe that recovery isn't possible without it. Whether their struggles are due to trauma they endured while being detained, emotional distress because of a loved one who went missing, whether they're a victim of violence, including sexual violence, are wounded or disabled, have been affected by emergencies, or are the ones providing support despite being affected themselves. Our mission is to ensure that people can draw on resources they already have, or identify additional support needed to recover. Sometimes this looks like doing in-home visits, raising awareness with communities to destigmatize certain issues, or peer group support, where people can connect with others who are experiencing similar struggles. If the resources and support systems don't exist in their area, we'll help develop them. The right support allows people to move forward. We want to make that a reality for as many people as possible. Mental health and psychosocial support is essential for recovery. Learn more at icrc.org.
All right, exactly. So mental health is very important, especially in these times of the pandemic. People who are, maybe living alone, away from their families, isolated. Mental health truly is something very important for us to consider, especially during these pandemic times. Congratulations, everyone. We've reached our 1,000 maximum limit on Zoom. Just a kind reminder to everyone here that if you are a VAD member or a teacher, you are highly encouraged to join us on YouTube so that we allow the most opportunities for students to participate with us today. Of course, because as part of their co-curricular activities as well, they will be able to obtain higher participation points on their PAJSK system. But of course, not neglecting the adults and also the adult members of the Red Crescent. You can still join us. Just that we kindly ask you to migrate possibly to the YouTube channel instead, so that we give more opportunities to our younger secondary school volunteers and members that we have. Next up, we have another video talking about feeling safe, and this message is brought to you by the individual. You enjoy.
Many of us have not felt entirely safe since the beginning of the outbreak, but we all need to feel some level of safety in order to operate in this world. For this reason, these can feel like challenging and uncertain times. The British Red Cross believe in the power of kindness, and kindness is very much a form of safety. Kindness to those closest to us, kindness in our communities, to those who are there to help us, and kindness to ourselves. Social distancing and self-isolation are extremely important, but they can affect us in many ways. Being kind to one another can help reduce a sense of stress and separation. A single act of kindness can inspire many more. Kindness can keep us together. What each of you are doing really matters. Stay safe, stay connected, and on behalf of the British Red Cross, we wanted to say thank you.
Yes, that was a short message from our sister national society from the British Red Cross. Again, welcome to everyone who just joined. Thank you for spending your wonderful afternoon with us here on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you all for staying at home and keeping the graph low with regards to the COVID pandemic right now. We are, of course, facing our second wave or maybe even a third wave of resurgence of COVID-19 in our country. And all of us play a very, very important role in keeping the level of infections low. So thank you all for joining today. We'll be talking more about today's session after another video that we have on the services we offer as part of the Malaysian Red Crescent. Enjoy.
Salah satu perkhidmatan yang ditawarkan oleh Bilang Sabit Merah Malaysia ialah bantuan sokongan psikososial. Ia diberikan untuk membantu mangsa semasa bencana dan terutamanya pada masa kini semasa pandemik COVID-19. Akibat pandemik ini, terdapat peningkatan masalah kesihatan mental seperti kemurungan, kegelisahan, malah juga isu bunuh diri. Hampir separuh juta rakyat Malaysia telah mengalami kemurungan semasa pandemik ini bermula. Salah satu teknik yang digunakan di dalam PSS ialah PFA atau Psychological First Aid atau dalam bahasa Malaysia, bantuan kecemasan psikologi. Ciri utama di dalam PFA iaitu yang pertama, melakukan persediaan. Sukarelawan disarankan membaca atau merujuk kepada maklumat penting berkaitan COVID-19 seperti vaksin, kesan sampingan. Ini memberikan bantuan semasa bertugas di pusat vaksin nanti. Yang kedua ialah konsep 3L, iaitu look, listen dan link. Look ialah sentiasa melihat keadaan sekeliling dan berwaspada, terutamanya atas isu-isu keselamatan. Yang kedua ialah listen atau mendengar. Sukarelawan digalakkan mengambil peduli dan mendengar aduan atau sekadar berbual dengan penerima COVID-19 yang sudah pasti merasa cemas ataupun takut sewaktu menunggu menerima vaksin. Yang seterusnya yang utama ialah link ataupun merujuk. Sila rujuk kepada penyaras pusat vaksin anda atau mana-mana pihak yang bertanggungjawab sekiranya terdapat masalah atau memerlukan pengesahan maklumat. Ini bukanlah satu bentuk kaunseling. Semua orang boleh memberikan PFA. Saya juga adalah seorang pakar sakit puan dan bukan kaunselor atau pakar psikiatri dan sudah terlatih di dalam PFA. Ciri yang ketiga ialah konsep self-care atau penjagaan diri. Antara tanda-tanda stres ialah tidak dapat makan atau tidur dengan baik dan mutu kerja yang merosot. Sekiranya ini berlaku, anda boleh berbual, berkongsi masalah dengan rakan sekerja dan keluarga ataupun melakukan teknik-teknik pengurangan stres seperti meditasi, hobi dan bermain sukan. Sekiranya perlu mendapatkan bantuan lanjut, sila hubungi kaunselor ataupun klinik yang berdekatan. Terima kasih kerana memilih untuk menjadi sukarelawan dan saya ucapkan selamat maju jaya.
All right, indeed. Mental health is very important. We have regular first aid for our physical health, but we have also something called PFA or psychological first aid, which is first aid given to people who requires or who are probably in a mental health emergency or crisis. And this is something that can be done by you and me. There are also courses offered by the Malaysian Red Crescent and the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. We'll be sharing some resources today on how to carry out PFA and how to carry out, techniques on how to improve and look after and take care of our mental health during these pandemic times. I am your speaker today. My name is Gerald Ong, and I am the National Organization for Development, Youth and Volunteering Committee member here at the National Headquarters in the Malaysian Red Crescent. And I've been a 13-year volunteer since secondary school, such as all of you as well. I first joined the movement and was inspired whilst in secondary school. So we hope that many of you will continue your Red Cross and Red Crescent journey with us as you progress through your life as well. Another final reminder for all of you to kindly rename yourself, keep your microphones muted. We encourage you to turn on your cameras to show us that you are wearing your Red Cross or Red Crescent, Malaysian Red Crescent uniforms proudly, and also follow the naming conventions as shown below.
You can strengthen your resilience by staying connected with your loved ones, your colleagues, and your own personal needs. In recent months, many of the ways in which we would usually socialize, decompress, and generally enjoy ourselves have been limited. But social connections are essential in making sure that we aren't taking too much home with us after a long day, or are left to deal with difficult experiences or emotions when we're on our own. Remember, we are all in this together. Knowing when to ask for help and reach out is not a sign of vulnerability. It is a sign of strength. We are all trying our best, and none of us should be going through this alone. What each of you are doing really matters. Stay safe, stay connected, and on behalf of the British Red Cross, we wanted to say thank you.
Yes, so I believe that all of the videos shown have gave you a very clear idea of what today's topic is, which is about mental health matters. So for this session of the 5th National Youth Online Gathering, we would like to share with you some topics regarding the pandemic and also about how it affects our mental health. So I'll be sharing with you the agenda that we'll be going through today. First, we'll be talking about the 3 phases of the COVID-19 virus that we must be alert to. And as with previous sessions, we will have a very exciting breakout session today, which involves a lot of your active participation. And then we will proceed to share with you ways to reduce stress in times of COVID-19, especially as students who are now, going through virtual classes. And then, of course, as per usual, we will have our Kahoot session, which will be quiz questions regarding the entire session that we have today. So I really, really encourage you to pay attention throughout the session so that you'll be able to answer the questions. And also there'll be prizes for you to win, again, from our sponsors. Our kind sponsors, our Post Uniforms Sendirian Berhad, will be sponsoring us vouchers, online vouchers to purchase their items on their shop, and then we will proceed with the closing. So on to our first agenda, which is about the 3 phases of COVID-19. The 3 phases of COVID-19 that we must be alert to, a guide to breaking the negative spiral. This resource that we are sharing with you today was developed by our sister national society from the Japanese Red Cross. And this is something very interesting that we would like to share with you regarding the 3 different phases of COVID-19, as you can see here, cutely drawn by our colleagues in the Japanese Red Cross. So COVID-19, as many of you are already aware, is a disease that is spreading around us, and has been so since early 2020. And even though now we are in mid 2021, there is still no end in sight for the current moment. But few of us are aware that the virus does not have 1, but actually 3 different infectious features, which we'll be talking about. And did you know these features affect you before even we are aware of them? So the 3 infectious features compose a negative spiral. It has a very negative cycle, I would say, spiral, yes. The first feature is about sickness, and the second feature is about fear, whereas the third feature is about stigma. And this is a cycle, right? It's going in a cyclic motion, and it's never ending. So it's negative spiral. It continues to keep on going down and down the rabbit hole. And I can keep getting powerful if no one pays attention to these 3 features and actually understand how does this negative spiral occurs. So the first feature which we'd like to talk about is about sickness. Now we know that the virus spreads through physical contact with infected people, and also through air droplets in the air. Once infected, we can have cold-like symptoms or flu-like symptoms such as coughs, fever, and sneezing. So those are the few things that it exhibits. And worse, in very worst case scenarios, people may experience pneumonia or severe acute respiratory illnesses. And that is in the very worst case scenario. The second feature is about fear, right? This virus brings us strong fear and anxiety as it is invincible. And well, now vaccines are already available, but there is still no treatment. There is still no long-term treatment or cure for COVID-19. Uncertainty triggers fear that can be rapidly spread among us. Building up in our minds, fear and anxiety weaken our ability to look, listen, and link. This was the 3 key L's that we learned earlier when we formed the video when we were talking about psychological first aid. And there are still, new mutations of the virus that occurs, right? You have, now they are naming by the WHO alpha, delta, beta variants of the disease, and we do not know what future mutations and how effective are future mutations against the vaccines that we have currently developed. So these are some of the fear and anxiety. And also, the fear and anxiety about the vaccines are also something very, very common that we hear. And that's why we are going to be talking about, we should be talking about it in a very open manner in order to reduce the fear and anxiety that people have. Third feature is about stigma, right? Fear and anxiety triggers human survival instincts. Because of that, we stigmatize the possibly infected person. Now, I'm sure you're more aware if you go out for necessities, to purchase your groceries, you are now more aware of people around you, right? People who sneeze, people who cough, people who have sore throat, and this makes us more aware and then maybe fear about the people who are possibly infected because they may be exhibiting some symptoms. So stigma destroys our trust and social ties by driving us to distance and discriminate against people, right? So you may say, oh, stay away from me, don't come near me, and things like that. So those are the stigma that we have for people sometimes when we do because of the fear. So why do we stigmatize others? Of course, fear of the invisible enemy, the virus, is one of the major contributions. And we need to understand that actually the enemy is the virus, not the person who may be infected by the virus. And then because of that fear, we perceive a specific target as an enemy that can be seen and targeting them for hate. In many different countries, there are many different stigmas that occur. Example, in a certain country, right? People from a certain group of race or class may be stigmatized because of the work that they do and the association they have, and also the risk and likelihood of them to contract the disease. But this is not necessarily true, and it is important for us not to stigmatize them, but actually to support them to ensure that all of us remain safe from the virus. And then because of that specific targeting and hate, people feel secure by stigmatizing and distancing targets of hate. So that means that they cease to look at the real enemy, but actually look at the people who may have contracted or fall victim to the virus. So for example, in Malaysia as well, certain states or districts are a very highly contaminated area or high risk of infection. So we tend to stay away from the area, or you even tend to stay away from people living in the area as well. And then we may have perceptions of that guy is coughing. It must be corona. He must have corona, right? And then we start to stigmatize and tell them to go home, stay at home, don't come out. And the third would be they are from country so and so or country XX. They must be very, very dangerous. So these are some of the stigmas that we also have in our society. And this is not something unique to Malaysia, but also globally as well. So what are the effects of stigma? Stigma comes from our mindset of labeling dangerous and germs on a specific group of people, such as residents of a certain area and occupations. Occupations that may be perceived as very low occupations, such as sanitation workers, the people who are cleaning our hospitals, people who are working, and also stigma and discrimination also happen against healthcare workers because they are perceived to be working in areas that is high risk of infection with the COVID patients themselves, and also sometimes volunteers of the Malaysian Red Crescent or any other organization that works currently in this pandemic. People label them as transmitters, going from house to house, helping people, and also they say that they're perceiving them as also transmitting the disease, which is actually not true in many cases, or in almost all cases, because everyone is taking the necessary precautions while still delivering humanitarian aid as needed. So some examples are hospitals seems to be very dangerous. It is unbelievable that they aren't using masks. They are from a different country outside of Malaysia, so they must be dangerous. All of these different foreign people who are bringing in the disease. This area is contaminated. That guy coughing, and I don't want the kids of healthcare workers to go to the same kindergarten as my children. And this has happened and reported in news, if I'm not wrong, even previously in Penang, where a private hospital's staff children who were stigmatized and discriminated against and encouraged not to go to the same school or kindergarten. So stigmas grows in these kind of forms, right? And it appears in many different forms, not just these as well. So the root of the tree, the needs is that people want to distance from the virus, they want to avoid infections, they want to identify potential threats, and they want to survive. However, understanding more about the virus, gives us better reasoning and explanation, and makes us unnecessarily stigmatize others as well. So that's very important to note. So how do the three infectious features structure a negative spiral? So one is that uncertainty and invisibility of the virus creates a very strong sense of fear. It's something that we cannot see, that we cannot touch, right? Physically, visually. Of course, we can see people who may be exhibiting symptoms, but we cannot see where is the presence of the virus. All right. The second is fear, right? So human survival instincts tells us to distance from the suspected individuals who looks like they're having the disease, right? And the virus grows stronger through that, right? When we try to stigmatize people. And third is the fear of being stigmatized keeps us from getting medical attention even when needed, right? Because my neighbors will look at me in a different way if I go to hospital or if I seek medical treatment, because they may think that I have COVID and they may stop talking to me or even trying to associate themselves with me. So which ends spreading the disease. All right. So the virus grows, all right, power on us through a negative spiral. All right. Fear is a much more contagious disease than actually the virus. So that's something we need to be aware of. So hey, don't we pay too much attention to bad news on the virus or obsessively think of it? We hardly ever hear inspiring news or stories of how people survive and how people get through the pandemic during these challenging times. So that person is coughing. That person is coughing, right? We don't question. It's corona, isn't it? And corona is spreading in that area. So let's not go buying stuff from there anymore. I'm having a fever but I'm not telling anyone because I'm very scared as well, right? So we are helping the virus spread by our thoughts and behavior. So how can we actually stop it? So in order to stop the first feature of the virus, right, which is the sickness, we can definitely practice, safe public health measures, such as washing your hands very frequently with alcohol and alcohol sanitizers and soap. Secondly, is also to cover your cough with either a tissue or a bent elbow, right? Coughing into your elbow or covering your cough or sneezing, right? Covering your sneeze as well so that you do not spread the germs through the air. Third is avoiding crowded areas, right? Stay at home, stay with your family, spend time with your family. Try not to go out as much as possible unless absolutely necessary. And also to wear face mask when you are outdoors so that you protect yourself and also protect others from catching the virus. So it is very important to take action to fight against the virus, not only for yourself, but also for the people around you, right? For your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, and your grandparents. You don't want any of them to catch the virus, even from you, right? So you need to ensure that you take all the necessary steps to protect yourself and also for the people around you. The second method, the second thing to fight against the second feature of the virus, right, which is fear. So fear brings us blind and weakens our ability to look, right, to look at our surroundings, to look at our family members, to look at the people around us, and actually be aware of how their emotions are, aware of how their body language are, right, and to listen to them, to truly sit down and have a chat with them, to have a talk with them and see how they're doing, and actually link, right? If they need help, who can we refer them to? There are many resources right now from the Ministry of Women and Health, from the Malaysian Red Crescent, and many other organizations who are dealing with mental health, and also, other helplines for people who are facing difficulties in the pandemic. So fear and anxiety are necessary for protecting ourselves, but they can also make it difficult for us to act in a rational manner, right? Fear makes us do very weird and bizarre things, right? So that's something we are also aware of during this pandemic. And the next thing to do against the second feature is also to maintain our ability to actually look at ourselves, right? To reflect upon ourselves, observe ourselves from a distance, right? Take a step back from ourselves and actually look at what about the actions that we did, how we are feeling. So stop and take a break, take a deep breath. Why not have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and try to relax yourselves. If you ever feel stressed and lost and uncertain and don't know what to do and anxious, try to sort out the current situations you have, right? Many of you, maybe from 5 students who just got their SPM results, many of you who may be taking SPM this year and you're not sure, whether you will have a normal SPM experience, taking exams in school or not, or is it delayed? So try to sort out the current situation, take things step by step, and see yourself from multiple angles or different angles, from angles from your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your spirituality, and many more. So those are very important notes to look at how to look at ourselves. And also to maintain our ability to listen to ourselves. You need to be aware and to find something, to sometimes have chats with yourself, or what we call monologues, right? Ask yourself, aren't you following just the bad news about the virus? Are you feeding yourself with too many negative news and not looking at the bright side of things as well? Although it may be very challenging and difficult, but there are definitely bright sides even to this pandemic, right? Are you obsessed with the virus all the time? Are you aware that the news and the social media that you feed yourself with, is it all about the virus every time, right? Are there some other things that makes you happy, like watching cat videos, dog videos? So are you also spending less time on hobbies and connections with those close to you? Now remember, we may be physically distanced, but we are definitely not always socially distanced. With the help of technology and innovation, we can still remain connected with our friends who may be even stuck overseas. All right. Have you tried to reach out to them, for our friends who may be studying overseas in America or in the UK, and also with your family members who may be also overseas and things may seem uncertain for them? And also, has your daily routine been severely disrupted or disturbed, right? And what are those things that are keeping you from doing your daily routines? And is it something that is really a challenge that you cannot overcome, or is it actually something that if you really put your thoughts and mind behind it, that you can easily overcome? So is there anything that you can keep doing as usual? All right. So those are the things that to be able to listen to ourselves. And also the third would be the ability, to link ourselves to resources. So make your decisions for your own safety and health, right? Tell yourself, limit and distance yourself from information on the virus if it's making you too anxious, or it's giving you very negative thoughts all the time and makes you feel down and depressed. Keep up with your regular routine of life. You can still try to exercise in your home if exercise is a regular routine. Study as per usual. Have gathering sessions online. Although you can't have physical gatherings with your friends or your families, you can still have them online, such as we are doing today as well. We are having a session online and keeping in touch with each other. And try as much as possible to create a comfortable environment, right? Try to look for things that makes you happy. Decorate your room a bit to make it look lively and bright. Even though we can't physically go out to buy shopping, you can do some shopping of your favorite plushies or things that comfort you online, and have them delivered to your house in a safe way as well, and make your room as cozy as possible, and the environment as cozy as possible as well. And also acknowledge, right, what you can do right now, right? Things that you can do at home. You can still study, you can still, have interactions with your family, all right, and be grateful for what you have. And try to work on something that you can do in the given situation, right? So, you can learn a new hobby, you can learn a new skill during this time because you don't have to go to school, but not to neglect your studies as well. But there are many other things that you can do in your home and achieve whilst in this pandemic as well. So stay in touch, of course, with who you feel comfortable with as much as possible. Your grandparents may not be very good at technology, so just give them a regular call on the phone, have a chat with them, ask them how they are doing, are they staying safe and well, do they need help, do they have enough food. So those are the things that really, really keep us grounded. Also, fueling fear leads to stigma. So please, please, please double check, triple check the information that you are sharing and that you have received from others, right? Do not disseminate, do not spread uh, uh, not credible information, right? Information that may not come from a valid source, and disengage from discriminatory language and behaviors, right? Do not condemn the actions of others during this period, because we know it's very easy, right, to stigmatize others, all right, during this pandemic. But instead, appreciate and respect also everyone who is responding to the fight against the virus, right? Appreciate and respect, families with small children, who have to deal with the pandemic, but also look after the small children in their homes. Elderly people, who may be cut off from the world. People can't visit them and they may be staying alone. So try to reach out to them and see if they need help. And also those who are treated for the virus and their family members, appreciate and respect them. It's something that they have not really, chosen for something to befall upon them, to happen to them, but they just happen to be infected, and they should not receive further hate or fear or stigma from the community. Those also, of course, who are trying their best to stay at home and to keep the infection graphs low. Healthcare workers who are tirelessly working around the clock to save as much lives as possible, and also to protect others who are not yet sick from the virus through the vaccination process. So have all of you also, encourage your families to register for the vaccines. So that's something very important to keep ourselves safe and to return back to normalcy as much as possible. And also to support those supporting society through their daily life, right? The essential workers, right? The delivery persons, the volunteers, right? Who are working also during this pandemic, police officers, right? Our security personnel, and emergency and first responders who are working despite the fear and the risk of the virus. So of course, we are all in this fight, and all of us, each of us, play a role to contribute to the end of COVID-19. So the summary is that for us to overcome COVID-19, the COVID-19 has affected our lives in the form of these three infectious features. This fight against the virus may become a long one, right? We do not know yet when it will end, but we will know one day it will end. However, how fast or how soon that day might be depends on all of us, right? We all can contribute to this fight by doing our part. So let us all in one and get free of the virus and break the spiral of the sickness, the fear, and the stigma, even with the vaccination process that is currently ongoing. All right. So those are the few messages that we have for us today to to look after our well-being, all right, to not be too fearful, to be anxious. And there, I mean, these are some of the materials that you can use that we will share it with, we are sharing with you. Materials from the IFRC, from the psychosocial support, psychosocial reference center that we have, based in the IFRC. There are many, many different materials for you to look at, and to also help you cope with your life during this pandemic. And of course, we would like to thank our colleagues in the Japanese Red Cross for sharing with us this material, and we give credit to them for publishing this material, and in order for us to understand the three different phases of COVID-19, to better understand how it contributes to this negative spiral, and for us to play our role to stop this negative spiral of COVID-19 in terms of sickness, fear, and stigma.
What each one of us is doing really matters, and the roles we are all playing to help slow down the spread of coronavirus are vital. This pandemic has reinforced the importance of our health and social care work, and what you are doing for those who are vulnerable, fearful, and possibly at the end of life is incredibly powerful and humbling. But it does not stop there. Each of you around the world have been playing an additional positive role in our crisis response by changing the ways in which you work or provide services, by self-isolating and socially distancing, by taking care of loved ones and neighbors. Acknowledging the value of your individual role and your courage is a sign of solidarity, and recognizing this can help everyone get through these difficult times, including ourselves. What each of you are doing really matters. Stay safe, stay connected, and on behalf of the British Red Cross, we wanted to say thank you.
Indeed, what we are doing, what each of us are doing is very vital to the fight against COVID-19. So now we'll be going into our breakout room sessions, and you will be experiencing another activity, actually two activities, which will be introduced and facilitated by our fellow facilitators in the team. And we will have about 40 to 50 minutes. We will come back here at about 3:35 or 3:40. And before we do so, we just wanted to check, that you've all received the message that you have prepared some of your materials that you will need for your activity, at least a sheet of paper. It could be a recycled paper as well, as long as one side of the paper is blank. Some color pencils or some crayons that you have, or even just a pencil, because you'll be requested to draw some things during the activity as well. So a writing tool or a coloring tool as well will be very helpful during the session. And before we break out into our session, let me just double check with our organizers. Are we ready to go into the breakout room session?
Yes.
All right, with that then, everyone, I wish you all a good breakout sessions. I hope that you'll be able to learn from it as much as possible. And I will see you back here at about 2:35 or 2:40.
Okay. A moment. Yeah.
We slowly move everyone into the rooms.
Yes. So, guys, I will open the rooms now and see you later.
All right. Hi, everyone. And to those who are live on YouTube, please give us a few minutes and we will begin our session shortly. There will be also one session will be conducted here in the plenary session. For those who are live on YouTube as well, please do join our activity. We encourage you to, as I said, also to prepare a piece of paper. It could be a recycled paper, it's fine. And also to prepare some drawing tools or some coloring tools that you may have around you. So we'll quickly give some time for all of you to get your resources, and we will begin shortly. Chong, I do see Javita here, so you might want
Yeah. Jivita, did you see any invitation to ask you to join the room?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Do you receive any notification to ask you to go to room 6?
Not yet.
Because I have just sent you to that room. Yeah.
In the meantime, for those who are here, if you could just show me your piece of paper that you have prepared and maybe some coloring tools, that'd be great. I can see some of your cameras on. Good. I see some of you are lifting up your paper already. What about the rest of you? Divya, Tivia, yes, I see Tangjun, Arnesh, great. All right, good. Chong.
Yes, a woman settling the session.
All right, no worries. In the meantime, we'll be, so for those who are joining us live on YouTube as well, please prepare your resources that we've requested. A piece of paper and some coloring or drawing pencils that you have. That'll be great. In the meantime, I will be sharing with you a relaxed breathing technique, which will be very helpful for you to practice. Whenever you feel anxious or whenever you feel that nervous or uncertain, right? And this breathing technique may help you to relax yourself. So first and foremost, I would like all of you, to sit in a very comfortable position. If you're on your chair, you can sit, in the most relaxed and comfortable position that you can be. If you like to fold your legs, you can do so. And slowly and to gently close your eyes, right? And keep them or keep them open if you feel uncomfortable, right? But keep them soft and unfocused, right? You don't have to close your eyes shut very tightly, but just relax and slowly close your eyes and let yourself go in this relaxed state. All right. And I want you to breathe out slowly. So breathe out as if you're blowing on a hot drink to cool it. Not blow too fast, but a long and slow breath out. And notice actually how this makes the out breathing long and slow. So imagine you're holding a cup of hot Milo or hot drink and blowing onto that cup to cool it down. So take another deep breath and blow it out. All right. You can repeat this a few times. All right, another time. Okay. Next, I want you to put your hands on your chest. All right. You can put normally, or you can cross your arms and breathe in. And as you breathe in, notice how the chest rises up and down as you breathe. Again, take slow and long breaths, deep breaths. All right. In, out. One more time. In, out. Next, I want you to place both your hands on your stomach, right? Locate where your stomach is and breathe in while you let your stomach move outward, right? As if there is a balloon in your stomach that is becoming inflated. Breathe in and out. In and out. One more time, in and out. Good. Next, also when you are breathing in and out, notice how your back and sides feel bigger when you breathe in, and then and also the feeling of shrinking back when you breathe out. Next, bring your hands down, right, onto your lap, and just breathe quietly for a couple of minutes, right? Close your eyes, clear your minds, and just focus on your breathing. Put your hands on your lap. All right, breathe in and out as you feel comfortable. And notice how your breath feels, how your body feels now. Good. Now slowly open your eyes. All right. I hope all of you were able to follow me earlier. And also those who are joining us live on YouTube, you are also practicing as we went through the breathing techniques earlier. All right. So everyone, these are some of the techniques that you can use, to calm yourself down, to relax your mind whenever you feel anxious or nervous. Especially, this may be very common. We may feel very anxious or nervous or uncertain during this time of the pandemic, right? With the full MCO, with the lockdown again that we are in, and schools being closed. So this can really help you to relax yourself and relax your mind. So let's move on to our next activity, which is the major activity that we'll be doing for today. So for today, the activity that we would like you to do is to actually discover your inner peace. All right? Fostering our self-awareness through an activity called the tree mirror. All right? So now I want you to imagine, right? Imagine this tree, okay? And in order to be ready for this activity, I want you to already prepare your paper and your pencils in front of you, around you, so that you can easily reach out to them. Show the next slide, please. All right? So all we need is a piece of paper. You can even reuse or recycle a paper that has already been used, as long as you have a clear blank sheet on one side and have something to draw, right? Be it marker pens, color pencils, all right, or even a sketching pencil, if you don't have any color pencils with you. Okay, so I hope that you have them with you. And I want you to follow the next step of the instructions. Next, please. So now I want you to imagine yourself as a tree, all right? And imagine, of course, what does a tree have, right? So it has, the leaves, branches, the the stem, all right, and also the roots as well. So the first thing I want you to do, as you imagine yourself as a tree, is to draw your roots, all right? But in order to draw your roots, I want you to reflect, all right? What actually keeps you grounded? What makes you you, all right? Imagine yourself as a tree and draw your roots. Your roots can be as far and outreaching as much as possible, or it may be, slightly short or not so grounded, right? But think, what actually keeps you grounded? Is it your family? Is it your background, your religion, your culture? Is it about how you interact with nature? So kindly, please, now on your pieces of paper, draw how your roots would look like if you were a tree. Right? Take the time. I'll give you a few minutes to draw your roots. Right? So start from the bottom. We'll start from the bottom. Draw your roots. What keeps you grounded? What makes you you? All right? Throughout these activities, there will be a few stages, and I will be guiding you throughout these steps. So please draw your roots for this part. What are your worldviews? All right. For those of you who may have drawn already, you can just show me, react with a thumbs up. If not, we'll still wait for you, so don't worry. Take your time, think about it. And if you feel better, you can even label, what your roots mean to you. You can even write the words. So is it your family? It could be your mother, it could be your father. What keeps you grounded, right? It could be your cousin, your grandparents. It could be your religion, your spirituality. It could be your love for nature. Anything that keeps you grounded. Do not be limited also just to the words that is shown on the slides. To those who are on YouTube as well, I kindly request all of you to do the same, all right? And I believe our facilitators are also monitoring the chats as well in case you have any questions. All right, I'm sure, can I just double check? Most of you have drawn your roots. If you could just react with a thumbs up, that would be great. Yes, I can see some of you showing me your drawings. Thank you, Lo from Perak. I can see that. All right, good. I see some thumbs up. So next, can we move on? So next, I want you to truly look at yourself, right, and reflect and draw how your trunk and branches would look like. All right, the trunk represents what are things that are essential for you to grow and what actually motivates you in your life. All right, and whereas the branches is your connections to the outside world. Okay, what are your connections or the relationships that you have? All right, it could be with your family, it could be with your friends, it could also be with your girlfriend or boyfriend, all right, if you have any, or any close friends that you have, all right? So again, how thick or thin your trunk will look like, it's important for you to also label what are your values, your beliefs, or the skills that you have, or simply things that helps you to grow mentally, emotionally as well. All right. Again, also branches. What are the relationships or the connections that support you? All right. Draw what you see yourself as. All right. If they were a trunk or a branch, right? And that, you know, their growth develops and finds its form and direction. It could be as tall as you want it to be, as far outreaching as you want it to be as well for your branches. So take the time, draw yourself. You can even label each branch, or label, you know, each curvature or each texture of your trunk. What are the beliefs, values, skills that you hold? We'll give you a few minutes to think and reflect. Right, kindly take your time, reflect, draw and decorate. Draw as detailed as possible how your tree will look like. To those who have opened your cameras, thank you for opening them. I hope that the rest will also do the same. At least we are not able to meet physically, but at least we can see each other and connect virtually, spiritually. And I also want you, as you draw, to really think about what you're drawing and reflect. See, most of you are still drawing, but can I just have a quick check if anyone who's done to maybe just show me a thumbs up? If not, no worries. We can still give you a bit more time. I don't see any thumbs up, so maybe we'll give a few more minutes. Yes, I can see Lo again is sharing his tree. Wow, very good. Thank you. Very nice. What about the rest of you? Yes, I see Shivani also sharing from Selangor. Feel free to label what each branch represents to you. What each texture of the trunk represents to you, your values. You can name them down if it makes you understand better about yourselves. Remember, this tree is your mirror. It reflects you. Okay? All right. Next. John. So next, I want you to reflect and actually draw your leaves, flowers, fruits. All right? What do you want to give, make, or share with the world? Right? Draw them as your your leaves. All right? What are your achievements and contributions that you have so far to the world? You can draw them as your fruits. All right? And it does not need to be an apple, right? It can be any fruit that you envision yourself to be. And what would you like to contribute to the world? Those can be your flowers. All right? Things that you may not have achieved yet, but are working hard to achieve that. So draw your flowers, draw your leaves, and draw your fruits. And again, feel free to label them as you see fit. All right? What will you ultimately leave behind, right? What will you have given to the world, made or shared? And what are your visions of the world that you would like to materialize? Okay? So take your time, reflect, think, and draw. I see some of you thinking very hard, very good. Take your time to think before you even draw. And as you're drawing, think about what you are drawing. How does it represent you? How this tree represents you. What change do you want to make in the world? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to give? Yes, I see Vera and Eng Lin Tong is sharing their drawings. Wonderful, beautiful, great. Right? Draw as much leaves. How would your tree look like? As much leaves as you want, as much flowers as you want, as much fruits as you want. And really take the time, to draw your tree as detailed as possible. That with every stroke, it represents you. Right? give 2 more minutes for you guys to complete your drawings. And then we will move to the next part. All right. So this is something or similar to what your tree should look like, right? You have the roots, all right? You have the trunk, you have the branches, you have the leaves, you have the flowers, you have the fruits. Okay? And as I said, I want you to label what each one of these components of the tree represents to you. All right? Is it your achievements? Maybe, you know, I had very good scores in my exams. Your achievement is I won a competition in sports or in language. Your root could be your family that keeps you grounded. It could be your belief, your spirituality that keeps you grounded to earth. It could be your interactions with nature that keeps you grounded to earth. And the trunk, right? The motivations that you have, right? To make my family proud, the skills that you have, you know, the values, you know, humanity, or your compassion, or your empathy that you have for others, your understanding that you have for others, your connections, your relations with your family, with others. It could be your best friend. It could be your teacher. It could be, you know, someone you met recently, an uncle you helped to cross the road, or somebody you helped to pay for their lunch who couldn't afford. You know, those are your things that may represent you. Anything that you see and feel that represents you as a tree. So this, because this tree is your mirror, is your reflection of how you would look like if you were a tree. Now, I'm sure most of you have possibly finished your tree. If not, don't worry, you still have time to continue to draw, to continue to color it if you like. But what I want you all to do is, once you have completed your tree, after this session, is that I want you to take this tree that you have drawn and place it somewhere where you will be able to view it every day. It could be on your study table. It could be on, well, on your above your pillow, your bed. It could be on your cupboard, your drawer, anywhere which is easily visible in your room. And what I want you all to do is that I want you to pre-order, like either daily, choose a period, a time frame, like be it daily or weekly, to look at your tree, right? And reflect how it actually truly represents you. And you are free, you know, to add on your roots, to add on your trunk, to add on your branches, your leaves, your flowers and fruits over time. And this is a very good practice, you know, to always reflect upon yourself as your life progresses in this world. And I can assure you, you know, it's something that will keep you at peace, and to understand that no matter whatever you're facing, the tree that you have drawn is as strong, as sturdy as you are to overcome whatever challenges you may face. Rain or shine, high winds or not, that may blow upon you, but you shall still stand. Okay, next. John? Yeah. So, just as the tree in nature adapts to change, so do we. There is a saying, for every season there is a reason, right? So there's time, to shed your leaves. There'll be times that you might feel, you are lost in your life. You may times that you may feel you don't know what to do. And there may be times where you are prospering, you have a lot of leaves, you have a lot of fruits. But remember, those changes may only be temporary, right? And those things may change, but your roots, your trunk will remain the same, your branches will remain the same, right? So that is also how it is in the world, where we have feelings and emotions that go up and down at times. But we know deep down who we truly are and how we shall overcome any challenge that comes our way. So we should not be too harsh with ourselves and just be able to understand that, the tree is just a reflection of us. There will be good times and bad times. There'll be times for sadness. There'll be times for healing. There'll be times to prosper and excel and be good at what we are. So do not put yourself under too much pressure. Accept the change that happens in your life and cultivate the idea of your fruits, even, in times of winter, in times of autumn, that tomorrow will always be a better day and that the sun shall always rise. All right? Thank you everyone for participating in the activity of drawing. Now I will be asking some questions for you to reflect on this experience, on the experience of you drawing. Yes, Eng Lim Tong, I can see your drawing. Very good. Thank you for sharing. All right? Feel free later also to continue to add onto your drawings. But for now, we'll be talking about some questions to help you guide through your experience of this activity. So first, I want all of you to think about this question. How did you feel when actually thinking about yourself today? And if you would please raise your hand and we will ask you to unmute yourselves to share. What were you actually thinking when you were drawing about yourself today? Would anyone like to volunteer, please? Don't be shy. Come on, guys. Yes, I see Arnesh. Oh. Yes or no? I saw Arnesh earlier.
You can also now type in the chat if you wish to.
Yeah. Arnesh?
Yes, I felt really confident when I'm drawing the tree. I also felt like I could improve a lot of things. Yeah, and I felt very happy.
Why were you feeling happy when you were drawing?
When I think of the future, I felt really happy. When I think I want to do this, I wanted to do this and everything. I feel really happy because of that. Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you for sharing, Arnesh. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
You know, you felt happy, that you felt good while thinking about the future. And of course, you know, times now may be different, but of course, when looking on the future, you have much that you want to achieve, I'm sure. And those are the things that, you know, keep you always looking forward, right? Thank you so much for sharing, Arnesh. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Arnesh, for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? I see a lot of you were actually doing it. Would you care to share with us? What are your feelings as you were drawing the tree? Or how you just think about yourself today? How did you feel? Anyone? Don't be shy. Yes, I see in the chat, someone said that they felt very scared. Why? If you could explain to me, I mean, if you could further elaborate, that'd be great. Yes, Shawani also mentioned that she felt happy because she got to reflect on the important things and important people that have played a major role in her life and throughout her journey in succeeding. Great. That's very good to hear. Yashawani, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I apologize if I'm not. Divya mentioned that she felt happy and she thinks about her future and she feels blessed. It's very good to hear that as well. Thank you for sharing. And Sharviana mentioned that she felt a sense of peace, that she felt like she finally understood herself a little bit more than usual, which is very good. And she can also finalize on actually what she actually wanted to achieve, I guess, in her life. So yes, this is a very good opportunity, you know, to reflect upon yourselves. And, you know, in the hustle and bustle of your life, that, you know, to stop and think, actually, what do you truly want? So thank you all for sharing, even though you may not want to, you know, feel free to unmute yourself. But thank you for sharing your thoughts on through the chat. The other question would be then, Chong, how did you feel when thinking about yourself as a tree? All right. When you thought about yourself as a tree, what were you feeling, you know, when you were drawing it? Any examples? Anusha, who directed message me, that's why you can't see, is very happy and that she understood herself, who she is. And thank you so much for this session. Okay, good. Thank you. Any other feelings you had when you were thinking about yourself as a tree? You know, I feel happy because I can achieve my goal. Good, true. But as a tree, feel happy. Okay. Anything else? Felt relief because I was able to clear some of my uncertainties. Exactly, because the tree is a reflection of yourself, and as you actually draw and label, you know, the things, label, you know, your values, your beliefs, and, you know, your motivations down, you actually clear up some uncertainties that you may not have discovered or are aware that you actually have. But when you actually sit down and think about it and draw and really reflect upon it, you actually realize that, you know, you have those properties or those characteristics that you didn't really realize that you have. Good. Thank you for sharing.
Yep. I can also share some feedback from YouTube. Yeah, there are some participants saying that I feel like I still have a long way to go to accept my flaws as a human being. Thus, I believe in time I will grow into a person I wish I become in the future. Also, many of them share that they feel more confident, found my path career. Yeah, proud of myself, just got the confidence to move forward.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then feel grateful with what I have. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for those who are sharing also on YouTube. Yeah, we really appreciate your enthusiasm and also your hard work in following us through the activity through YouTube as well, even though you are not here with us in Zoom. So thank you so much for that. Quickly as well, there are some who feel peace as there's no disturb and feel confident that they can achieve their future goal because they listed it down, which is true. And someone also mentioned that Anusha mentioned that she realized what she has done for her community as well, and by listing those things down and feel yeah. And Vincent mentioned that feels lucky because understands himself better, know exactly actually what he wants, and understand that he should cherish some things more as well in his life, which is a very good reflection. And thank you all for sharing, right? So the next question would be also, so actually look at your roots now and actually think about what do the roots of your tree mean to you. Apologize for the background noise, it's a bit raining here. Yes, I felt happy and proud when I achieved my goals. So those are some from Shivani. So actually think, what do the roots of your tree actually mean to you? Does anyone want to share what their roots mean to them? You can either type or you can unmute yourself. Strong, right? Vincent Low from Perak mentioned that the roots meant that they are strong. Yes, indeed. Just as a tree is have strong roots to be grounded and stand up firm, they need to have strong roots. Benicia Tan mentioned that her roots meant to her life and her goal. And Moses Lau said that the roots means our life and future. And Divya added on, it meant her life and her future. Nabila said that the roots is a starter, a beginner for her to make a move to achieve her goal, right? It's her beginnings. Exactly, Nabila. So most of you have the same, thoughts, life and future. Okay. Parents, Mishalani mentioned that parents and people who are supporting her to achieve her goals in her future. And someone mentioned that they actually realized that the parents is a big source of support for them. And that's very, very encouraging to hear that. The roots are also, Sharviana mentioned that the roots are a foundation to a success in the future. And it's a starting guideline on how to live well. Exactly. So those are some of the meanings of the roots to the participants. Next, again reflect on what do the trunk of your tree mean to you. I'm sure you understand yourself better, but I would like some of you to share, what does your trunk of your tree mean to you? Would some of you care to share? If you like to speak also, feel free to raise your hand. We would like to hear from some of you as well. What about your trunk? What are your motivations? What are your values? What are the skills that you may have? It's a bridge also, right? The trunk is a bridge between your roots and your branches. It is a symbol of growth. So what is your trunk? What makes you grow as a tree? It means to move on more, to achieve bigger, Divya said. Yes. True. Mishalani, who has raised her hand, would you like to unmute yourself? Can you unmute? Yeah,
Yes.
I see. All right.
So maybe my self-esteem that I have,
Mm-hmm.
my self-esteem, I trust myself.
Self-esteem, you trust yourself.
Yeah.
So those are some of the values you have, which is good. You know, self-esteem, self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Michalini, for sharing. So Michalini said it's her self-esteem, her self-confidence, and her trust in herself. That was what her trunk meant to her. You know, to have self-confidence is very important, right? Believing that you can achieve is already half the battle won. Yes, next please. So the branches as well. What do the branches mean to you? Who are your connections? What are the relationships you have in your life? Think about it. What are the branches mean to you? Yes, it means a supporter to me. It means my parents. Yes, your parents are your relationships that you have. Very good. Divya? John. Next, please. So what do the leaves, fruits, flowers of your tree mean to you as well? I'm sure many of you. Okay, let me just unmute yourself. Okay, you can unmute yourself if you like. Abdul Salam from Kedah. Your dreams, and what are your dreams, Mahesh? Your achievements. What are your achievements? You can share a bit if you feel comfortable. Right? It could be your good grades, your future lifestyle that you want to have, your dreams and goals. Exactly. The process of life. Want to become a doctor. Somebody mentioned. So indeed, to become future roads of success. Yes, Abdul Salam, you were saying something? You're unmuted again. You're muted again, sorry. If not, next question, please. And what is required for this tree to grow? What do you think this tree needs to grow? Sorry? Water. Sunshine.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oxygen and more.
Exactly, oxygen, right? All these things are required to sustain the basic necessities of life. So you also need to think, what is your oxygen? What is your sunshine? What is your rain? Right? Your water that you require as well. Right? There's also a saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So what are the things that helps you to grow as well? How does the environment shape you? All right? Love, positivity, yes. Parents, teachers, exactly. So really reflect upon this through this experience to understand the experience. And next one. So I'm sure you have learned something from this experience. So could you please share what have you learned from this experience of drawing your tree today? To never give up. True, very good. Anything else? Anyone else? To work harder plus smarter. Okay. Nice. To be sturdy. All right. To be strong. To be unwavering in what you want to achieve in life. To love yourself. Very important. Yes. and to be relieved, to be at peace with yourself, right? In order to project peace onto the world, you yourself first must have inner peace. So next question, please. I think the last question, right? So I'm sure, you can definitely relate this activity to real life situations that you may have experienced or witnessed in your community, but is there any examples you could share with us, if you like? Yeah, so Lana mentioned to be more confident and ready to take up the world. Exactly, the world is yours for the taking, right? Seize the moment, seize the day. Carpe diem, they say. Always be grateful for what we have now. Love ourselves and those around us too. So thank you so much for all of your sharing. Okay, and I'm sure most participants are coming back. Is it Chong?
Yeah, some rooms have finished and they have came back. Yeah, still checking with the others groups.
We have. So thank you all for the plenary session, for your active participation, for your drawings, for your time and your thoughts that are shared with us. You are truly wonderful souls and trees in the world. And I hope that you continue to grow, right? Despite the challenges that comes your way, that you will be as strong as your tree that you have drawn, that will be unwavering, sturdy, and not easily shaken, right? And remember, every part of your tree is important. If your roots are not strong, you will easily fall down. If your trunk is not strong and sturdy, if it's hollow and empty, your motivations, you do not realize what are your motivations, your values, your skills, it will also make the tree fall. All right? So it's important to constantly reflect and understand yourself better at any point of your life. All right? So I want you to truly use this tree and reflect upon it daily, weekly, for at least a month, and to actually see how this process actually helps you to center yourself, all right, to find where you belong in this world and how you interact with this world as well. So thank you all for your participation. I see most people who are coming back. I will have a quick debriefing together of what the activity that we have done recently reflects. All right.
Okay, let's wait for a while. You can also take some rest for a while waiting for the others to come back.
So we have 2 minutes break. Grab a drink of water, go for a quick toilet break if you need to. And I will let everyone know once everyone is back, and we will start the debriefing for everyone. So thank you all for joining. And to those who are on YouTube as well, thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for joining the activity as well. I know it may be a bit challenging doing it from YouTube, but for those who have been following every step of the process, really appreciate the work that you're doing as well. So thank you. We'll have a short break for now. Don't leave yet. It's not the end. So yes, thank you.
It's all about giving. It's all about trust. It's all about people. It's all about us.
It's all about being human and having a heart.
It's all about giving. It's all about trust. It's all about people. It's all about us.
It's all about being human and having a heart. It's all about being human and playing a part.
It's all about healing.
All right, for those who just came back, welcome back to the plenary session. I hope you had a very interesting and interactive session earlier. So thank you for joining back. We are having, we have 878 back already. I think all the rooms have closed, correct? No?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I hope that you guys had fun earlier during the activity. Earlier, the activity was called the Tree Mirror. It's a very good activity for us for self-reflection and for us to keep ourselves grounded and find what are our motivations and achievements that we want to achieve in life. Although we are currently separated because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and each of you are an individual tree that you have drawn. But it's very important for all of us to understand that despite us being separated physically, that all of us, spiritually and also in essence, as our tree that we have drawn, exist in an ecosystem, in a forest together, right? And that somehow all of us interact with each other through our roots, that, underground is outreaching as far and wide as possible to the next tree beside us. And that, we are all connected in some ways to one another and influence each other as well. Some of your friends may have written you yourself as an inspiration, as your relationships or connections that they have through the branches, and vice versa as well. So it's very important to know that although, you've drawn a singular tree in your paper, that you are not truly alone in this world, and that, we are always connected through nature, through the ground, through the earth as well. And that's a very key thing to note. So I said as well earlier, I mentioned that I encourage all of you to place your tree somewhere that is easily visible in your rooms, be it on your study table, on the wall, on top of your pillow, on your cupboard, or on your mirror yourself, and for you to constantly, to periodically go back and visit it, be it daily or weekly, or once in 2 weeks, to look at your tree and to add on, more features, more detail, more aspirations, more motivations, more roots to truly make you how you truly feel and reflect as well as life goes on. And at least practice this for a month, and I'm sure you will see the change and the build of your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and also, your inner peace, that you truly know who you are and constantly reflect on that. And that's a very important thing for us to practice in our real life as well. So I hope that technique that we've taught as well, together with your breathing techniques that you have experienced, is an added skill that you have learned to manage and cope with your mental health. And that was the aim and purpose of us conducting the breakout session earlier. So I really hope that you had fun earlier. And next, we'll be sharing with you some further techniques to take care of yourself during this pandemic time. So it is totally, absolutely normal to feel sad, stressed, confused, scared, or even angry during any crisis, right? Whenever we are placed in a very uncomfortable position, these are some of the feelings and emotions that we may experience. And we would like to share with you, some ways to reduce stress in times of COVID-19. So some of the tips and techniques that we're teaching you is not something very new, but something that you may not have been aware of before today. So one few good ways to reduce your stress during COVID-19 pandemic is it can be very hard to stay positive during COVID-19. So try investing your time in hobbies and learning new skills, listening to your favorite music, read a book, take a walk, or even ride a bike, all right? According to how the SOP allow, of course. Make sure you don't breach the standard operating procedures that the government have announced, if it allows. So the other thing also will be daily exercising reduces stress due to COVID, right? You can exercise, simple exercises that can be done in your house in front of your TV, follow, some of the YouTube channels, exercising on tips and tricks. And this will also increase your overall health and boost your endorphin production, which is a hormone that makes you, feel good and gives you a sense of well-being, that, all is well, that, everything is well in your life. The other thing would be also to, ensure that you don't experience this, is that inadequate or poor quality sleep can negatively affect your mood, mental alertness, energy level, and also physical health. So try as much as possible to get enough sleep and stick to regular hours or routine. It can definitely help reduce stress in times of COVID. So I know it's very enticing for you to stay up late. You don't have to wake up early for school anymore, to go to school, dress up, bathe, brush your teeth, go have breakfast. But try to maintain a good sleep cycle, right? Try to not to stay up too late and to have a good rhythm. Wake up still early in the morning. Start your day off early, and carry out as much as possible your regular routines as if it were a normal day, and that you are not bound to study from home routine. And the other thing will also be taking breaks, during the day can reduce stress and help you stay productive while working from home, or in this case, studying from home due to COVID-19, right? So I know, last time in schools, there's not much time you have break. You only have one recess. The good thing now that you're studying from home, take frequent breaks, short breaks, but not long breaks, just to have a bit of fresh air, have a cup of Milo or a cup of water, stay hydrated as much as possible. And that's really, really helpful for your mental health. Next. That would be improve your time management skills. This is something very challenging, right? During the pandemic, when working and studying from home. Better management skills can not only improve your work-life balance or your study-life balance, but also lower your stress level in times of COVID-19. So it's very, very important, to continuously ensure that we have good time management, we finish our work on times and our responsibilities and our homework and studies, so that we can have time to relax, chillax, enjoy our hobbies, read a book, listen to music, or maybe even Netflix. And also, learn relaxation techniques. One technique was the relaxation breathing techniques that we have taught you earlier. That's a good thing that you can use. Other relaxation techniques such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, which we taught you earlier, yoga, for those who like yoga, are powerful relaxation techniques and undeniable stress fighters. Stress fighters also proven with some research behind it, So these are some techniques that you can use to help relax yourself and calm yourself during these stressful times as well, and uncertain times. Also, keep in touch with others, right? Being socially being physically distanced doesn't mean we are necessarily socially distanced, right? So stay connected with others through social media, video calling, texting, or by joining support groups or interest clubs, such as this, right? This National Youth Online Gathering is a form of a support group. It's a form of an interest club, right? For you to keep in touch with others, to see and have a connection with others, albeit virtually, but you get to meet new people and new friends as well. And then the next also will be to resolve stressful situations. It's better to discuss your problems than to keep them to yourselves, right? Especially when we're all staying at home, relationship with your family members is very important. It's very important to have a two-way communication, open line of communication with your family, so that, because all of you will be stuck at home together, so you can't always be angry at them and have the silent treatment, right? So try, to resolve stressful situations as quickly as possible, as openly as possible, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you feel like you or somebody else might actually need help, right? It's always, I know it's a bit of a stigma in our Asian culture that, reaching out for help is a sign of weakness, but actually it's a true sign of strength to know what are our limitations and when we actually need help. So don't feel shy, don't feel ashamed, all right, to reach out for help, and that's very important for all of us to know. If you notice or you realize anyone in your family or in your friends feeling down or depressed, and especially as well feeling suicidal, please reach out, right? There are a lot of resources out there to help you overcome the crisis that you're facing in your life. So please, always look out for each other. Of course, as well, during COVID-19, eating a healthy diet can definitely reduce negative effects of stress on your body. And also note that too much caffeine can lead to increased anxiety, right? So try to drink more water instead, all right? And that's something very important, right? From those who are working from home, for our VAD volunteers, and also, some of you who may be taking caffeine to cope with studying late at night. Do not take too much coffee or tea or caffeine, because those can have a negative impact, which leads to increased anxiety for most people. And of course, try to focus on something positive, can reduce stress to COVID-19. Limit yourself. Do not limit yourself and prevent yourself from consuming too much negative media, right? Because, the trend for mass media nowadays is that bad news is good news. So try to limit yourself on your intake of this type of news, which only talks about the negative and negative news, but also look for inspirational news. Look for news about resilience, of strength, of innovation during these pandemic times. And you can see that every cloud has a silver lining. So those were some ways of how you can cope yourself with stress during pandemic. But there are also some other ways on how to help children or your brothers or sisters to cope during the pandemic. So of course, and for those of our members who have children as well, right? We have some adult members who are joining us on YouTube. This is not to forget you as well. You may have some children that you have. So these are some of the ways that you can help them to cope during the pandemic. One is to talk with children and reassure them as much as possible, answer as much as possible to their questions that they may have truthfully, and be honest with them and have the courage to say, I don't know. Example, in relation to the restrictions ending and going back to school. When is the MCO ending? We don't know. When can I go back to school? Definitely, we don't know at this point of time, right? But as soon as we know, definitely we will share those information with them. We will keep them informed so that they can rest assured that, we're not hiding any news or anything from them. And the other thing is also to constantly, try as much as possible to find some free time to play with them, interact with children, right? Because that is a healthy thing as well, to play physically with them and not to resort to mobile devices and YouTube and whatever not that they are doing nowadays. That's also a very important point as well. The other thing is also to balance playtime with quiet time or downtime during the day. So have a good balance of times, where they can, they can watch YouTube or TV, but also have times on reading, listening to audio or fairy tale books, playing with Lego, drawing, and calming exercises is equally important as well, so that they're not just stuck onto their devices. Also, be supportive, kind, and show them care and love. It's very, very important. Hug them, assure them, show them how to stay safe from COVID-19, how to wash hands, how to sneeze, how to cough, how to wear masks. It's very important. And also to maintain regular routines, all right? Have set meal times for them, bedtimes, and schoolwork for them as well. Homework, if it's also very important for them to have regular routine so that they can get used to it and they're not too affected by when school reopens for them. And of course, one for the caregiver and parents themselves is be kind to yourself, right? Don't beat yourself up too much, that you're not doing the best for your child because of the pandemic and things like that. You're already doing the best that you can in your capacity, so don't worry about it. All right, everyone is going through the same challenges as we are, and we respond to it differently, and it's fine if we respond to it differently. Another thing that we would like to share with you is also the 14-day well-being diary, and this is something that was developed by our friends in the Hong Kong Red Cross, which is the branch of the Red Cross Society of China. And you can definitely download this material in our Telegram channel at MRC NYOG. And this is a PDF document that is editable. It's a diary form that it's a PDF that you can edit and type. How are your feelings of a certain day for a 14 days period? And as you may know, that the MCO has now been extended for another 14 days. So this will be a good opportunity for you to use this diary to reflect and to check yourself how you are feeling every day through this lockdown process and through this process that you're being homeschooled or studying from home, right? It provides you some ideas for daily activities as a reference to make your everyday life more fulfilling in order to stay physically and mentally active and also healthy. And of course, as I said earlier, you can type directly on the document to record your feelings, set goals, and rate your mood for each of the day as well. So we will share this link also for you to download in this Zoom chat and also in the YouTube chat as well. But if not, join us, subscribe to our Telegram channel, and those links will be available in those platforms as well, right? And last but not least as well, if you're feeling sad, confused, stressed, or scared, please reach out to our care line, which is called Red Crescent for You, at 088-416911. This number is being manned by our volunteers, trained volunteers in Sabah, who will be providing, some psychosocial support, some psychological first aid for those who are having, stress, anxiety, and mental crisis. You can reach out to us, or simply if you just would like to have a chat with us, just reach out to these numbers. Our kind, warm, and friendly volunteers will spare their time, to reach out to you and just to have a chat with you if you like to have someone to have a chat with. So don't feel shy, don't feel ashamed to reach out to us, and we're always here to listen to you as well. All right, and with that, I'll be ending with a video before we proceed with the Kahoot session.
Mental health and psychosocial needs are not always visible, but they are real, life-threatening, and urgent. During a major humanitarian crisis, these needs can double.
If I remember what is happening through the hours, you see, I would just woke up. And when I woke up, I won't have time again to sleep. My head will be paining me all over.
To relieve the health, social, and economic burden, we must prioritise mental health and psychosocial support as the life-saving interventions they truly are.
صحيح حضوري لهاي الجلسات بديني الأمل في بكرة، بديني الأمل إن أنا الساعة موجود، إنه ممكن إني أنا أسير، ممكن إن أنا نخلط في المجتمع.
The Red Cross and Red Crescent movement provides mental health care and psychosocial support, adapting to the communities we serve.
Kusudi niwasaidie, mimi napendaka kubauliza maulizo kusudi nipate kwanza maresources zenye viko nazo. Akishaonesha resources zake au uwezo zenye iko nazo, pale tutaanza kutumika kusudi tuangalie gisi zile resources zenye yeye peke iko nazo zinaweza kumsaidia kusudi affaire face kuma problemi zenye iko nazo.
But more support is needed. We need to scale up and deeper in early action in addressing the endemic stigma and discrimination that can have severe consequences for people's safety, health and dignity. Long-term investment in national health and emergency response systems, training volunteers and local and national professional workforces,
Bueno, vamos a hacer un ejercicio de respiración.
and support for the mental health and psychosocial well-being of volunteers and staff who are responding to humanitarian needs.
Me pasó en mi trabajo, me pidió eso en lo personal y se le era yo con mi familia, así, o sea, el estrés, el temor que nos fuera a pasar algo a mi esposa, a mis hijos. Si no hubiera programa, yo no estuviera en la Cruz Roja en la institución. Así de simple no estuviera si no nos hubieran dado ese apoyo.
The Red Cross and Red Crescent supports governments, organisations and responders to do more and better in ways which empower people as agents of their own well-being and through responses that are culturally relevant and appropriate. There is work to be done to ensure the mental health and psychosocial needs of people affected by war, disasters and other emergencies are adequately met. Now is the moment to act together.
So indeed, mental health and psychological support is very important right now. So now we are up to our Kahoot session. As I said, there will be prizes for our top 5 winners. So I do hope that you've been paying attention a lot during the session today. Please prepare your other mobile devices if you have any. If you're still using the same laptop for your Kahoot session, please open the new browser so that you'll be prepared for the session. So we will be doing the Kahoot right now. Give me a moment. Okay, hold on. And all right. A kind reminder that the Kahoot session should only be joined by participants who are from secondary schools. So VAD members and teachers, please do not join the Kahoot session. For those who are joining live from YouTube as well, you're also welcome to join the Kahoot quiz, as long as you are not a teacher or an adult above 18 years old, and VAD members as well is not allowed to join because, to be honest, the questions are only constructed at the secondary school level. So of course you will be having an advantage to answer those questions and be unfair to our participants here who are joining in the secondary school category. So we'll give you a few minutes. All right. We will start sharp at 4:02. So we have 2 more minutes to join. The game pin is 472-1991. Go to your Kahoot, www.kahoot.it, or join us from the Kahoot app if you have downloaded the app before. The game pin is 472-1991. So quickly join, guys. We'll give you 2 more minutes to join us. And again, the winners will be given vouchers to purchase online from our sponsors, Outpost Sendirian Berhad, Outpost Uniform Sendirian Berhad. Shout out and thanks to our sponsors today. And a reminder for all of you to please key in your name that we can identify with. And for the winners, the top 5 winners that we will be mentioning the names later, please also be aware of your placing and reach out to us, the organizers at nyog@redcrescent.org.my, so that we can assign the prizes to you as well. If you don't reach out to us, I guess we'll just keep the prizes for ourselves by the organizers. But sincerely, really, I mean, please do reach out to us because we would like to, award you the prizes that you have, achieved and deserve. All right. Wow, we have more than 1,000 over people joining us right now. It's 4:02. I'll give an extra 1 more minute for the latecomers to join. Please do join us before we start our questions. We have 15 questions today, and we'll see who's the winner. So all the questions are related to the session that we had earlier. So I hope that you've been paying attention, and we will start the meeting. We'll start the game in a few seconds once it's 4:03. I hope all of you are ready and excited for the quiz up ahead. All right, it's almost 1,300 people joining already. Again, as I said, please use your proper name so that we can identify who are the winners later. If we give a very weird, funny name, we may not be able to identify you later and will not be able to award you or present to you the prizes as well. All right, it's 4:03. I will start the game in 5 seconds. But for those who are still trying to join online, feel free to join online. The game pin will be shown throughout the whole game, so it's just that you will join us at a later time and you may lose some points for not answering the earlier questions. So I'm starting the game now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready or not, we are starting. So NYOG, mental health matters. Quiz, we have 15 questions. What are the 3 infectious features of COVID-19? Can anyone tell me? Please be aware of the answers as well, because these quiz are the same quiz questions that will be asked during your attendance quiz as well. All right, so we have many of you answered the correct one, which is sickness, fear, and stigma. So congratulations to all of you who answered correctly. Ku Honri is the one leading. Let's see the next question. What is the first feature of the coronavirus? Should be quite easy, but I'm not sure. What is the first feature of the coronavirus? Wow. People still answer the different ones, right? So the answer is sickness, the first feature. Ooh, Ko Henry answered it wrongly. Eugene is now leading the scoreboard. What is the second feature of the coronavirus? Should be 600 people who are able to answer correctly as well, right? Is it fear? Is it panic? Is it scare? Is it worry? What is the second feature of the coronavirus? Exactly, fear. So that everyone is very good. So fear is the second feature of the coronavirus, which we presented earlier. Wow, this time the scoreboard constantly changes. Let's see. Of course, what is the third feature of the coronavirus? dishonor, disgrace, stain, stigma. I wonder whether was I paying attention earlier during the session. Yes, very good. Majority answered stigma, exactly, and that's the third feature of the coronavirus. Congratulations to many of you. Shivyani, wow, this is really changing the scoreboards always. Question 5. Which of the following is not listed as a way to protect yourself from the virus? Which one? Which was the one? Was it washing hands, covering your cough, exercising individually, or avoiding crowds? Which was not listed? Exactly. So the 3 listed was washing your hands, covering your cough, and avoiding crowds. So exercise individually, although it's a very good way to protect yourself from the virus, but it's not a listed activity to protect yourself. Wow, Tan Wei Chun now. Okay. Question 6. Which of the following is not listed as a way to go against the second feature? Not listed, yeah? Look, learn, listen, link. Which one? Confusing. All of them are L's. Which L is not one? Exactly, learn. Yeah, I see an almost equal distribution on the link part. But look, listen, and link is the 3 L's that we have taught in psychological first aid. And also the second feature. All right, Wei Chun is still there. Who should we respect and appreciate for fighting against the virus? Which one? Elderly people, healthcare worker, those staying at home, or all of the above? I wonder which was the answer. Yes, definitely all of the ones that we have mentioned, even elderly people as well, because they're equally strong in going through the pandemic, the challenges that they face. So Tan Wei Chun, wow, still maintaining the place. How should we not invest our time in hobbies and learning new skills? Play video games, read a book, listen to our favorite music, ride a bicycle. Which of it should be the one? Of course, video games. Yes, that was the one not listed. So the rest was fine to develop a hobby or skill, and video games was not the answer. Wow, Wei Chun. Very good. Let's see, will he or she last to the end? How does daily exercising help our mental health? Does it reduce stress? Does it increase overall health? Does it boost endorphin production? Or is it all of the above? I wonder if you were listening. Exactly, all of the above. So yes, all of the exercising individually will help our mental health by reducing stress, increasing overall health, and also boost our endorphin production, which is the feel-good hormone. Oops, Wei Chun dropped very far down, and Joel Pang is now leading. Okay, question 10, which of the following is not affected by inadequate or poor quality sleep? Mental alertness, energy levels, spiritual health, mood, which is not affected by inadequate or poor quality sleep. Tricky. Yeah, spiritual health is not. It was physical health actually that is affected by poor quality sleep. Right, mental alertness as well, energy levels, and your mood will be affected by poor quality sleep, of course. Joel Pang is still maintaining. Let's see the next. What is a safe way to stay in touch with each other in this pandemic? Video calling, texting, making phone calls, all of the above. I wonder which one. Yeah, all of the above are definitely ways to stay in touch in this pandemic, of course. Joe Palm. Again, guys, remember the questions and the answers, yeah, because the same quiz will be asked for your attendance. What should we avoid consuming to prevent increasing anxiety during the pandemic? Caffeine, sugar, protein, vitamins. Which seems the most unhealthy? Yeah, caffeine, of course. Consuming a lot of caffeine may increase our anxiety during the pandemic, or any instances, but even more so during the pandemic. Joel Pang is almost still there to the end. One way to help children cope with the pandemic is to talk and reassure them. True or false? These are some of the ways, if you recall. True, very good. Correct. Joel Pang is still in the lead. 2 more questions. Number 14. One way to help children cope with the pandemic is to have more playtime than quiet time. True or false? Afifa? I said you said true, eh?
No, I'm saying it's in the middle.
Okay. All right, it's false, guys. Come on. You need to have balanced time of playtime and quiet time, guys. You should not have more playtime, although I know children will like more playtime than quiet time, but it should be a balance, yeah? Okay, remember.
I will remember after this.
We all hope to have more playtime. Joel Pang is still there. There's 5 people. Will they last for the last question? Come on. One way to help children with the pandemic is to maintain a regular routine. True or false? Wow, everyone seems so certain. Keeps on going up without any much thought. True or false? Of course, the answer is true. It's very important to maintain a regular routine so that when we go back, to physical interactions and meeting, people are not very affected by the routine that has changed during the pandemic. So, who is the winner? Number 3 is Lao Zerling. Pay attention, Lao Zerling. Do reach out to us. 2nd is Joel Pan. Wow.
Wow, I thought she's going to last to the first one. Wow.
So, our surprise winner, Alyssa. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And we have in 4th and 5th place, Ganesh and Grace Lim again. Congratulations to all the 5 winners. Please do reach out to us for the prizes, and please give your feedbacks, players. We will appreciate your feedback for our debriefing and post-mortem as well. Oops, I'm not showing. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Yep. So game rating of 4.6. I hope you enjoyed your time with us. I hope that the messages that we have shared, you were able to capture. And with that, let me stop sharing this and go back to PowerPoint. All right, so I hope that you had fun during the Kahoot session, everyone. It's now time again for our photo session. So kindly please turn on your camera now if you need to make up or to adjust your hair or style your hair, it's too late. Please show us how proud you are, in wearing your Red Cross and Red Crescent t-shirts. And we will be taking everyone's picture in 1 minute's time. And Chong, when you're ready to let us know.
Yes.
Shall we have a tree with everyone?
Yes. Yes, guys, please show your achievement of your tree beside you, but of course don't block your uniforms as much as possible. Try to put it somewhere beside you, not to cover your face or your uniforms. So be proud of who you are. This is who you are, and this is how you look like if you are a tree. All right. But I know some of us can't draw very well, but don't worry, you're beautiful in your own ways, and you know how you truly look like.
That's an art anyway. That's the art.
Yeah. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, so it's fine.
Wow.
Some people say that, Picasso's is not really art, but yeah.
Correct. Right. I agree with you. Exactly.
Some art that we consider weird is beautiful to others.
Mm.
John, are we ready for our picture, John?
Yes, a moment.
Everyone, please please do turn on your cameras if you're able to.
Just now I have 17 pages, but after removing non-video, we only have 7. Rather 10 pages. Please turn on your camera, guys.
If you want to appear on our reports,
and try
on
to
our
show
social
your
media
tree.
posts, on our Facebook, please turn on your cameras. If not, you miss the chance.
All right, get ready. I'm going to take screenshots. Ready? Please hold your smile for a few minutes. 1, 2, 3. Second page. Don't close your camera yet, huh? Fourth page, we have Yunyi and Michelle. Number 5, we have Yang. 6. On the page 7. And last page. Oh, don't adjust your camera yet. All right, that's all for the picture.
Good job.
Great job, everyone. Thank you so much. All right, let me come back to this. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really a pleasure and honor to have all of you join us. We are past our 2 hours mark. We do apologize. Our facilitators should be sharing with you the attendance link right now in the chat, both on YouTube and on Zoom. Again, a kind reminder to all of you not to share the attendance link to anyone else. If you are found to do so, we will not hesitate in to stop you or to disqualify you from obtaining your certificate, right? So please pay attention to that. The other thing as well is that we will not be sending to you the certificates through emails. So we have now developed a new system for the certificate. So all you need to do is to go to this website or to this link, bit.ly/MRCS certificate, and you can definitely search your IC number that you have registered with the dash included. So, or use the email that you have used to register for in the Google form attendance. All right. So please do not send emails saying where is your certificate, because it's now will be uploaded online through this system. And again, a reminder that the certificates will only be generated within 5 working days. So please do not send an email tomorrow or later today demanding where is your certificate. It will be produced and uploaded within 5 working days. So you can feel free to check up to next Friday. If you're not able to search on the system, make sure also you ensure that your IC is correct and your email address that you used is correct before making our test. And we will help you as much as we can if there's truly any errors as well. Also be aware that, if you did not achieve 50% on the quiz on the attendance form, you will not be eligible for a certificate. And that quiz is not something new, it's not something difficult, it's the same set of questions that you have experienced in your group session, and it's just a means of verification that this person actually attended the session and was participating in all of the activities. All right. That's it that we have. So thank you all for your active participation. Please continue to like, follow, and subscribe our social media handles if you have not done so. For those who are on our YouTube, please of course subscribe and hit the notification bell button so that you'll be notified on the next live session that we will have, which is on the 10th of July. With that, I think thank you all and see you on the next one on the 10th of July. So congratulations everyone for going through the session with us here today. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you guys. See you guys soon.
So Chong?
Yes, thanks, Gerald. So just something to add more. Yeah, so in the attendance form, there's also a section for you to upload your tree. So feel free to take a picture of your tree and upload it so we can have a Malaysian Red Crescent forest, and that shows that we are together and we are connected. All right, so feel free to share your tree with us.
Will we post the tree forest on our social media?
Yes, we will try to do so if we collect many trees from you. Oh.
So guys, please do share. I expect more than 1,000 trees to create our Hutan Simpan Bulan Sabit Merah Malaysia. And we will try to share as high definition as possible on our social media. If we have more than 1,000, it will be truly spectacular and marvelous. All right, don't worry, don't be shy. You don't need to put your names. Nobody will know whose drawing is what. So do share with us. We will keep it anonymous when we post it online, of course.
Yes. All right. So once again, reminder for the viewers from YouTube, you can find the attendance form link on the pinned message. So yep, if you can't find the pinned message, try to scroll through the chat. Yeah, and also reminder for the other viewers, stop commenting or spamming. Yeah, we know that we also thank you guys for your participation. Yep, so but please stop commenting unnecessary messages, because that will make the others difficult to catch the attendance form. All right, we will share the form again. Okay, and also after finish filling your form, you'll find all the links that we shared today at the end of the form. For example, the 14 days well-being diary. Okay, you can get a link on your from your form, and also our Red Crescent for you care line number. All right, just a disclaimer, that care line is for you to call if you have feel like you want to have someone to chat with, if you're feeling stressed, sad, or anytime you want to chat, but not for you to call for certificates. All right,
because they will not have any information on that.
Yes.
If it were me, actually, I would call the Caroline. I'm joining a youth gathering, but why? I'm stressed out now.
Yeah, so feel free to call that number if you want someone to talk with, okay, but not to ask anything about NYOG through that care line, because they will not have any information about that. All right, so until then, till we meet again, viewers from YouTube, we will stop the live streaming. See you on